when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're on target here at Youth Wednesdays to discuss the Caribbean Developmental Championship. And I say on target because this morning we're going to be discussing archery as a sport. And this morning to have this discussion, we're going to have Miss Arthurium Lewis, who is a national archer, and her coach, Mr. Patrick Welch. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good
Thank
morning.
you. And good morning to Tobago.
But no, guys, I have been seeing Mr. Patrick all over the place, and for good cause. He seems to wear many hats. How do you do it?
Very good time management and probably just a reduction in the amount of sleep.
All right. So tell us about archery and why did you get into archery?
My initial foray into archery came as a result of my scouting group at the time. They were interested in it, so I would have done some research, did the training, and we would have gone through the National Federation, did the work and so on, and we would have established the Tobago Precision Archery Club. And that was several years ago. I think we're probably going on 9 years of existence in Tobago. And the program has seen great growth over the years, and so the interest has risen. We also now have the school program where we establish in many of the schools. So we're hoping to develop more archers that are on the standard of Arthurium and even take archers of first standard and raise them to the national and the Olympic level. So that's the goal of the club.
And that's great. That's great because, you know, I'm always of the view that Tobago is not equipped as other countries with all these sporting activities and sporting competitions and things. And, you know, it's good to see that we have it on the island to give more exposure and add to this stock that is already available. Why did you get into archery? And might I say, you have a very exotic name.
Thank you. It's
a flower. For
flower.
those who don't know, is a flower
Yes.
that only grows under special conditions.
That's very true.
The immortal trees.
Yeah.
Yes, immortal trees. Without them, it wouldn't grow, and it grows a very nice pink or white, or sometimes yellow.
And there's a beautiful purple one also. That's
Yeah. So, very beautiful name. But why did you get into archery?
Okay, I got into archery originally because I wanted to find a sport that would suit me, right? That I would enjoy, that would also benefit me in other areas of my life, like in coordination and focus. And when I found archery originally, I was like, okay, this is a cool sport. You know, not many people know about it, but I like it. Right. So I held on to it and I continued to push with it. And it really brought out a type of competitiveness in me. And it made me realize the lengths I could go to and how far archery could take me, and in the ways I can represent myself, my family, and my country. And it's a good thing to be in.
Right, I'm quite confident. But I think it would be remiss of me if I don't ask you. So is it that you looked at Green Arrow, and, you know, you was inspired, or you looked at the Avengers and saw the, you know?
It definitely had an influence on me. I would say so.
But at any point in your life, did you believe that you'll become an archery assassin?
Whew. You're asking me if I'm gonna be Robin Hood.
But tell us about the Caribbean Developmental Championship. And I think the key focus in the term is developmental.
Yes, so the Caribbean Development Championship is, contrary to what the name may suggest, it's a continental activity. We will have representation from Canada, the USA, Colombia. So many of the Latin American countries will be in Trinidad and Tobago. We have British Virgin Islands, Guyana, Barbados. All of those countries will be here for the weekend, and we're taking part in this tournament. The intention of the tournament, as it says, is to develop archers and put them to a level where they're competing and able to compete in an Olympic-style environment. So the environment they would be competing, what they would expect at World Nationals, Olympics, and so on. So they will be working under the same rules, but in a capacity that will allow them to grow. So they have a chance to, if they have to stumble, they stumble and they stand again. and they are not penalized for it. So it gives them that confidence, that boost. Tobago would have attended its first CDC last year when we went to Dominican Republic. I think Arthurium would have done very well there. And coming out of CDC, she actually came back to Trinidad and Tobago and excelled greatly. Right now, she is ranked #1 in her category, and she would have dominated. After coming back from that event, she would have, her capacity and her abilities would have increased. You could show the certificate would have increased significantly after that.
Come on.
I would have obtained this for being the first in my category, and for placing first consecutively through indoor and outdoor competitions. So this is a national award from the federation themselves, and this is to show that the work that I've put in is really a lot, and I'm proud to have this in my hand right now.
Well, I glad you mentioned work, because I have to ask, what was the work like to get into this, to have this result? I mean, it must be quite a magnanimous task.
Well, yes, it's very strenuous work, right? So it's consistent training, right? So I joined archery at a young age. So I've been, right, so since I was 6 years old.
6, wow.
So I have the years of experience, and that's why even I'm able to sometimes go out and coach other archers and beginners, because I know the tips that, when you come to archery, do you have certain beginner mistakes that you would make? And also, I've took it upon myself to do some extra research and to watch the professional athletes like Olympians and see how they do their technique, how they do their form. And I kind of just follow that and tweaks my form a bit to match what they would do. Yeah.
Wow. You have been known, Mr. Patrick, for inspiring youth. I remember some years ago, I don't know if you remember, I think I was just in primary school.
Yes, that was when you were in primary school. We would have had, what was that? Was that something to do with the sea? Was eco camp?
Yes.
Eco camp in Goodwood. I recall
and
that.
I'm glad that the mere fact that she would have said that her skill has been such a standard that she could coach others. It is great. And my question is, how many more like Arthurium do we have coming on stream, and do you think that this sport need more advertising and promoting in Tobago?
So right now in Tobago, we have approximately 10 persons who are in stream coming along with Arthurium, and we are hoping to increase that significantly by using the school program as a catchment area to find the talent and refine it into world-class archers. So definitely we need more promotion. We need to be out there, because I always make the joke that people say archery is Tobago's best kept secret. A lot of people say, we saw you at the stadium, we saw you somewhere, but we didn't know how. So we encourage people to reach out to us. All our info are basically tobagoarchery.com, Facebook, Instagram. And we really want to encourage Tobago persons to come out on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and give support to our Trinidad and Tobago archers, and support to the international athletes that will be coming to our shores, some of them for the very first time, to enjoy the sport of archery. And also on Monday, we have an island tour where we're taking them around to the forts and different significant event areas in Tobago to experience the Tobago culture. So we're hoping to do some dirt oven baking. We're going to visit Fort King George. I know we're going to Speyside and things like that.
That's great.
So we're really looking forward to having this activity, and we encourage the public to come out and give us that support, please.
Right, that's great. But I'm seeing a trophy here. I must ask you, what does it feel like to be a Tobagonian at such a young age? You're only 14. 14, am I correct?
Yes.
Right. Attaining such feats and representing the country on such a national stage and attaining these medals.
Well, it's an honor. I have to say that. And it's only thanks to God and my family and my coaches, right? So my main coach over here, he would have really pruned me to be the archer that I am today, right? So I would say it's really an honor.
Right.
It's a lot of responsibility, it's a lot of pressure, but that pressure is what turns that stone into diamond.
Right.
So I understand that the journey would be rough, but at the end, that is what I'm really looking for.
But you have a goal, even I might even dare say platinum.
Yes, sir. Very eloquently spoken,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. And it all heals to the Bishop's High School. Big up your teachers if you want to.
Yes.
Say good morning to them if you wish.
Good morning, Bishop's High School.
All right.
For my teachers.
But I also wanted to ask you though, for those parents who are conservative, to sending their young kids to learn to shoot arrow, because long time when we grew up, they say stick that joke eye.
Yes.
So what would you say to those parents who are afraid that they come home and they might try to practice this sport on their younger siblings, or the dangers of the sport? What would you say to them to mitigate against that?
Well, actually, surprisingly, a lot of people don't know, is that archery is actually one of the safest sports in the world, right? So one thing you do when you come to archery is we teach you the safety rules. We teach you how to properly handle a bow and arrow so that those instances don't occur, right? So it's better to come to the club and shoot safely and with that knowledge behind your head to know that I can do this, I can do that, than to build your own bow and arrow at home and possibly injure yourself, because there's a lot of things that you can end up doing that people aren't aware of that is very dangerous, and I myself have seen some of those casualties.
Right. All right.
Yes.
And what about you, Coach? Have you gotten the concern that, oh gosh, my child, I don't want him, he miserable or she miserable,
Strangely enough, it's the opposite. The parents are very excited, no matter how miserable a child may be, to get them into the program and say, hey, they love to do this, they love to do that. But what happens is when the child comes to the club and they come to the program, they are quickly taught what is safe and what they can and cannot do. So you tend to have a lot of children, when they get in, they have one perception, but after their first session, they're able to grasp the enormous responsibility it takes to really operate the bow and arrow, because while it is a sporting tool, it can be used negatively. And I can safely say so far all our students have adhered to all the safety rules in terms of we have certain regulations in place at the club, at the national and the international level to protect the archers and to protect anyone within the environment when we're operating.
All right. Thank you, guys. Unfortunately, this brings us to the end of our interview this morning. It was a pleasure meeting you. Patrick, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I'm very glad and pleased to see that you're really fostering development on the island through sport. Guys, this brings us to the end of our interview on Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show on Tobago Updates television. Remember to share the live. We go back to Tobago Notes and Tobago Good Morning Tobago with Candice Jackson. Have a great day.